Hi, everyone. Welcome to Kiki and Kibitz. It's me, Mary, and I'm here today with Inmate to Roommate, Season 2, Episode 6. That was all a lie. I'm here with my recap. Um, if I was going to give this particular episode a grade, I would give it a B. Okay. Honestly, in my opinion, the episodes that do not have Veda and Lisa and Mark in them are boring, but that's just my opinion. I think Annalisa, Veda, and Mark kind of bring the spice to the season. But this was a pretty good episode. So let's get right into it. And my first question that I have is Emily, what made you think that this was going to be a good idea? I'm like, seriously. Okay. So Jason, who reminds me of Chance. I can't help it. Okay, from his mannerisms to his bad jokes to even the way that he looks at the camera. He reminds me of Chance from Love After Lockup. Okay, so Jason's been home for a total of 24 hours, and Emily is reminding him that rent is $500. Okay, and if you're wondering, he managed to get Margarita in and out without Emily realizing anything. Okay. He's going by the what she doesn't know won't hurt her route. Okay. So when Emily gets home from work, she so kindly reminds him that rent is $500 and she needs it ASAP. And she's like, I got you a possible job lead. Okay. It's at a dog rescue. And Jason is like, ugh, I hate dogs, but I'll do it for money. Okay. And she, as they're driving to the rescue, she's like, be on your best behavior. This place is very near and dear to my heart. It reminds me of Nash. Nash is her doggy that had passed away. So Emily, is all emotional. She can't even talk about Nash without breaking down in tears. And this dog rescue place is really near and dear to her. So her and Jason get there, and there's a bunch of dogs being trained, and there's one particular dog. This is a pit bull rescue, by the way. One particular dog that is muzzled. Okay, and Jason asks, the owners, why is this dog muzzled? And they're like, well, she has behavioral problems, etc. And Jason walks right up to the dog, and the dog is all loving on him. Jason, walks around with the dog, and he's like, it's kind of ironic that the one dog that's all muzzled and kind of like the black sheep of this, and I have a connection and whatever. Okay, this all would have been great, Emily, my dear, if this was a paying job. Okay. This was a volunteer opportunity. And don't get me wrong, volunteering is fantastic, but not for Jason. Sorry, not for Jason when he needs to come up with $500 rent ASAP. Okay. The guy's been out of jail for 24 hours. So, so he's like, this was a whole big waste of time. Emily is pressuring him to get the money. Okay. So he just wants her off his back. So he decides, okay, you want $500 so badly? I'll get you $500. And he gets it. She doesn't want to know where he got it from, how he got it. She's just like, okay, he paid me the first month's rent. All I know, he could have stole somebody's identity to do it. I don't know, but I have $500 in cash. And I guess, Emily, that's all that really matters to you at the moment, right? Is that you have money to pay your rent. I don't know why you thought this was going to be a fucking great idea to have this dude to depend on to pay you rent. But hey, it's not me. Okay, so Emily goes off to work, and she reminds Jason, no visitors, and please do not let my dogs out. Okay, make sure that the doors are closed and my dog doesn't get out, etc., etc. And Jason is just looking at her like, yeah, okay, get out already, because last week it was a little Margarita, this week it's a little Amber. Okay, Kind of reminds me of that song, Mambo number 5, a little margarita in my life. Now this week is going to be Amber on my side. I mean, this guy has like a revolving door of chicks that just want to jump into bed with him. Yo, he still has the smell of jail on him. Okay. And they want to like jump into bed with him. I mean, first it was Margarita, and now it's Amber. And, Amber's like immediately undressing the minute she gets into the bedroom. Okay. And Amber is a dangerous one, though. Her and Jason hug out, did drugs together. I mean, so she could be, a little dangerous one. So anyway, Emily gets home from work the next morning, okay, after working all night. And guess what? She discovers high heels in her living room. Okay, because Amber started undressing in the living room. Anyway, so she is like, what the fuck? What the fuck? So she goes, Jason, open up that door now. He's like, give me a minute. Jason, open up that door now. And Jason opens up the door and she's like, I'm sorry. This has nothing to do with you, sweetheart, but you got to go. You got to go. Jason, I told you I didn't want anybody here that I didn't know that when I wasn't here. That's it. Honey, put your clothes on. You got to go. And Jason is standing there like this, like, oh. And so that's how these two ended this week. Okay. Now, moving on to Daniel and Kathy and Devan. Okay. Devan's grandparents bailed him out. Okay. And Kathy went to pick him up to drive him to the halfway house. And Daniel's grandmother shows up. Okay. This is Kathy's good friend. And I felt so bad for grandma. Okay. First of all, grandma is up there in age, and you could tell that her darling grandson Devan has dragged her through hell and back. Okay. Devan didn't even have the respect to look at her, say thank you, anything to his grandmother once he finally walked out the door. Is like he thinks he's entitled for everyone to be there for him. Like, I'm sorry. The conversation that he was having with Kathy in the car, all I heard was wah 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 wah. I mean, he does not take responsibility for anything. Okay, it is a self-pity party. Everyone has done him wrong. Like he was trying to tell Kathy, you guys turned your back on me. The minute that I, relapse, you turned your back on me. And Kathy's like, "Oh, what were we supposed to do? Like you keep doing these things over and over, not hurting yourself, but hurting, the people that love you, your grandparents, your sister, Daniel and I. We all want the best for you. And all you do is just keep giving us basically the middle finger. I mean, Devin, that's what you're doing. You give everybody in your circle the middle finger. Everyone that sticks out their neck for you and tries, to help you do better. You basically say fuck you and then give them the pity party. Okay? So, and Kathy drops him off at the halfway house and she's like, I really hope this works because the halfway house is better equipped to deal with him than we can. And I'm hoping for the best. That's all I can say. Now, moving on to this idiot, David and Aaron. Okay? Aaron is having a party. He has a bunch of people coming to see him, including his daughter. Now, the good thing about Aaron's friends, they are his sober circle. Okay? And they just want to keep him on the straight and narrow and just to see him do well. So his friends were really happy to see that, he managed to get himself a decent place to live. He's barbecuing in the backyard. Everybody, gets to meet David. David's like, oh, this is really nice. And they're all having, a really nice time. Aaron's friends, one of Aaron's sober friends, says that Aaron's big problem is that he takes a lot of weight on his shoulders. And then when he can't handle that weight, he feels guilty, and that's a trigger, and that, could lead to him using substances. So his daughter Abby shows up. Abby is 24 years old, and her father has been basically in and out of her life since she was 11. Okay. And she says that her home life wasn't that great, and she was really looking forward to weekends with her dad. And her dad would say, I will come and pick you up this weekend. Don't worry, I'm going to be there for you this weekend. I'm going to come and pick you up, and never showed up. So, on top of dealing with a not so great home life, she was being disappointed constantly by her father making promises and breaking them. So, she wrote a letter to Aaron when he was incarcerated 2 years ago, basically expressing everything, everything that she felt inside. And even at that time, Aaron refused to read the letter. He's like, this is not the time or place for this. Eventually, he did read the letter, and he holds that guilt inside of him. Okay. But, his daughter is hopeful, but not really. She's hoping that it's not going to be like the last time. Okay. And that she could depend on having a reliable father figure. She wanted to end the uncomfortable conversation. After a while, she was like, I don't want to do this anymore. Let me go out and have a hot dog off the barbecue and shit. This girl's been through enough. She just, reunited with her father after 2.5 years, and, let's see what happens. Next week, however, shows David saying that Aaron has been missing for over 24 hours with the car. He took David's car and he vanished. Okay, so we see David and his sober friends looking for Aaron, who has taken David's car and disappeared with it. Now, we have good old Cyndi and Jennifer. Okay, so Cyndi was talking to her friend Angela, and Angela said apparently the way Jennifer's relapse happened was she was unpacking. She found an old shirt that had a pipe in it, and the pipe was packed. And she decided, fuck it, I'm just going to smoke. Okay. According to Angela, Jennifer wasn't ready to remain sober. Okay. Now, she gets a phone call. Cyndi gets a phone call from Jennifer. And Jennifer's all like, hi, Cyndi. How are you? I just wanted to check in with you and tell you that I lied. I didn't actually relapse, you know. Okay. It's just I was so overwhelmed being in your hoarder house and having you think that I was going to be your Cinderella, that walls were closing in on me, and I decided to book it. Okay. Where did she go? She went to her brother's house. But at least she has enough common sense to realize staying at her brother's house is not a good idea because it's in the neighborhood where she used to get high. Okay. But she just needed space for a minute because Cyndi's house, the walls were literally closing in on her. So the only way that she thought of getting out was lying and saying that she relapsed. Okay. Cyndi is all like, what the fuck? But agrees to let her move back in if she takes a drug test. Okay. And Jennifer's like, no problem at all. I will piss on as many sticks as you want me to prove to you that I'm sober. So Jennifer shows up to the house with a drug test. Cyndi goes in there into the bathroom with her. Cyndi didn't want to do it, but Jennifer was like, come on in. This is how I do with my PO. Come on in. Watch me pee in a cup. So everything was negative. Everything was negative. Jennifer was like, I'm sorry that I lied to you, but I was just getting stressed and overwhelmed. And Cyndi's like, okay, I'll let you move back in, but this is strike one. Okay. So Jennifer and Cyndi are going to be roommates again. And let's see what the hell happens. But it's kind of really bad when you have to lie and say that you've relapsed in order to get heard and to be able to get out of a house. Okay, that she felt that trapped. She had Cinderella syndrome so bad that she had to lie and say that she fucking relapsed, that she smoked. I mean, come on. This is not a good situation for you, Jennifer, honey. Okay. I'm sorry to tell you, but you're being slapped in the face with a huge red flag. And the only one that's going to suffer is you and your sobriety. Okay. So, girl, I wish you nothing but the best. So let's see what happens. We're already on episode 6. So I'm assuming it's going to be a 10 episode season like it was last season. So, yeah, that's all. Thank you so much for watching me, guys. Please subscribe if you don't already. Hit the like button. Share my video with a friend or 10. And please consider joining my membership. Thank you so much and see you next week. Bye, everybody.